I'm Emmanuel, and welcome to my workbench, and welcome to another coin roll hunt. This is going to be another long form video. Please excuse my voice. I have been fighting the flu for the last couple of weeks. I put the recorded on date on all of my videos, so if you go and look at the footnote on my video, it always says what date I recorded the video on, and you can probably tell I haven't recorded anything in 2 weeks. I've been really fighting the flu, but I am on the mend. You could probably tell by my voice that I am not 100% yet, but I am good enough to do some video editing. Now, last week's video that was filmed before the flu hit me hard was really long, much longer than I anticipated. I did the 30 rolls, and it stretched the capacity of my laptop to actually generate the video file, because I had to actually delete some old videos and whatnot just to make enough room on my laptop to have the storage necessary. The file, I think, once it finished compiling, was about 16 gigs in size, and I needed an additional 16 gigs of buffer size. So lessons learned is, when making these long form videos, is I'll probably stick to less rolls so that I can keep these videos a little bit shorter and make it a little bit easier for my laptop to handle the video rendering. But anyways, let's get right to it and get going for today's video. I'm only doing 10 rolls, but we're going to be doing 10 rolls of Toonies. And so I'll get set up and we'll get going right away. Now, there might be some cuts on this video because I do break out into terrible hacking and coughing. Here's roll number 1. Now, the Canadian Toonie has been around since 1996. That was the year of issue. There are tons of 1996s, but I have to check all of them because 1996 is also a year where they made fakes. And 1996 also has a couple of errors that you want to look for as well. And so we'll get right going. All right, let's have a look at the first one here. This one is a commemorative celebrating Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee, 50 years on the throne. And there is a variety here where we were looking for just under the H there for a dot. It's called the 2002 dot variety. There's also fakes for this one, but this one is a real one. Next we have, this one is a 2010. 2010, there is a variety that needs to be scoped. I'm going to set that one aside for later. It is the, actually, I'm just looking here on my phone over here, and there's two varieties. There's the no water lines and the extra serrations. So the no water lines, you look between the bear's paws there, and you can see the water lines over there, those little squiggly lines. It'll have no lines there for that version. And the extra serrations is, but just like the 2019, for the 2010, there is a version that has extra serrations. So let me grab one of a similar year. This is the 2011 and compare. And if it has the same number of serrations, then it's the standard version. You can see here, they have the same number of serrations. And what we're looking for is the one with less serrations, the 14 serrations. So there'll actually be 2 less serrations. And that is the one that we would be looking for. So that one is not a variety. And we have the 2000 Knowledge Toonie with the 3 polar bears, the mama bear and the 2 baby bears. And there's a variety on here, one which is the pedestal 0. Now, I think this is the pedestal 0. There's a die chip right under the 0 right there, called the pedestal 0. The other one would have a die chip under the letter D over here, or a die chip under the letter S over here. But this one has the die chip. You can just see it right there. Let me get the angle right there. die chip under the 0. This is a find. I just thought I was going to show you a commemorative, but turns out we have a find. We have an error coin. And here is another commemorative. This is the 2017 Vimy Ridge. Toonies have been issued for Remembrance Day or Veterans Day is what you'd call it in the States, but Remembrance Day here in Canada, almost annually. And it's only for the ones issued, let's see here, after, let me see here on my phone, after 2018. So as of 2018, following this year, that's when they, following this year is when the mintages started to drop on these commemoratives. Okay, let's go on to roll number 2. First of all, let me readjust the camera here, bring it in a little bit closer. There we go. All right, let's see what we got this time. We have a commemorative 2017 celebrating Canada's 150th anniversary. This is the Dance of the Spirits non-colorized version. Quite common. There's actually a second one in the roll here. The colorized version actually glows in the dark. Very cool. The 2017s, they always had this weird different font on the back that what you're used to, and generally you can identify them via that, as well as the maple leaf is the Canada 150 logo that they use instead of the standard Royal Canadian Mint maple leaf. Next, what do I have here? This one is a 2022. Now, you are familiar with 2022s under a different format. This is the regular issue, and in 2022 they had the Black Ring Toonie that is very well known as well for the passing of Queen Elizabeth. But this is a regular issue Toonie, just to show you that they do exist. And here we have a 2012. Now, 2012 was the first year that the security feature up at the top over here was used. You can see if I tilt the coin, you can see a maple leaf there. Tilt the coin the other way, there's another maple leaf. So that security feature was added to prevent counterfeiting. Very cool. And there is a transition one where the 2012 also had at the beginning of the year the issued without the counterfeiting feature here on the coin. Those are the ones to look for. And finally here we have a 2019, and this is the one that we're going to be looking for the serration. So let me find a modern coin that's comparable. Let me find something a little bit more recent here. There we go. There's the 2022, and I'm going to compare it with the 2019. And if the serrations match, which they do, then this is just the standard 2019. We're looking for the one with more serrations on the 2019. Roll 3. All right, some more coins to look at. We have a 1 million minted Bill Reid from 2020. This is a cool find. Definitely a keeper. Only 1 million minted, 2 million minted for the colorized versions. Here is 2003. Now, 2003 is the year where they transitioned from the crowned bust of Queen Elizabeth to the more familiar uncrowned bust that we have here. So that's why I brought that one out to show you. And here's a 2019 that we're going to look on the edge for the serrations here. Let me compare. Same number of serrations, so this is the standard version. Here we have another 2010. I usually don't find too many 2010s, so let me compare that to an earlier version. Same number of serrations, so this is the regular one. And our last commemorative of this roll is the Nunavut, $2, celebrating the creation of a new territory. The Northwest Territories was split in two, and the territory of Nunavut was created, and this commemorates that in 1999. Very, very cool. Roll 4, we have King Charles on the ender here. Okay, nothing in that roll. Roll 5. All right, this one has another 2010. We'll look very quickly between the legs there. We see the ice flows. So let's grab an older coin here and check the serrations. And the serrations don't match. I had to double check off camera here. This one here is the 2010, right? Is it correct? That's the 2010. And let me check that this is a 1996. Yeah, it should have the same number of serrations as the 1996, but you can clearly see that it has 2 less serrations. We found ourselves with a variety. This is the 14 serration 2010. That is a keeper. Awesome. Roll 6. We have a Nunavut ender, but we've seen that one before. I was hoping for a little bit more color in these rolls, but I've been disappointed so far. Not a single colored coin. I take a bit more care on these guys because of the fakes. There's multiple years with fakes, and so I do take a little bit more care when looking at them to make sure I identify the fakes. I usually see them quite easily, but sometimes it's easy to get fooled. All right. We have 3 more finds here. We have our second Bill Reed, 1 million minted. That is another lucky find. That is awesome. We have a D-Day. This is a 2019 non-colorized D-Day. Very, very cool. I think it's seen some, I don't know if it's seen some damage or whatnot along the edge. I guess this is from the edge lettering, these little marks on the side. The pressure marks for where the letters are. Very, very cool. Let's keep that on the board. And we have a 2019. So let me grab a more recent coin. Let's see here. Here, 2016. That's good enough. And this one has extra serrations, you can see there. That this is indeed the extra serrations. 2019 has 2 extra serrations. And I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it aside until I find another 2019 and compare it, because my brain is in a bit of a haze right now. Having a hard time thinking straight. And I'm just not remembering if the variety has extra serrations or less serrations. Oops, knocking over the camera. Sorry about that. Let's keep going. Here's another 2019. We'll compare it against this one. And another 2019. All right, we only have 2019s now. It is very, very unlikely that these are all the same. So let's compare here. These two here, same number of serrations. And this one and this one. There you go. The one on top has the extra serration. So I was right. My mind was not as foggy as I thought. This was indeed the variety with the extra serrations. All right. That's a little bit of relief. I thought I wasn't thinking straight. We are now on a roll number 8. No colorized coins yet. That is very surprising. I have at least one colorized coin in 10 rolls. So, well, let's hope to find something of interest here. All right, let's look at these 3 here. First one here is the War of 1812, the $2 commemorative. This is, it says the War of 1812 here, the War of, and then 1812. And there is a variety on this one. And that is, let's look at the back, it's quite rusted. 2012 over there. And the variety is that, let me grab the screwdriver here. This area, you see there's 2 guy lines right over here, and then there's a sail over here. And then the area between this guy line and the sail is actually frosted. And I just knocked over the camera here. And that frosted eye between the second guy line and that sail is frosted, and it's called the extra sail version. I've never found one, but I've seen them before. So that's the error to look for this coin. This one here is a 1 million minted 2021 celebrating the discovery of insulin. The 100th anniversary of the discovery of insulin. Very, very cool. Another one for the board. And the final one over here is a 1998. Now I bring this one out because there is, 1998 was one of the years that circulation coins were commemorative coins were struck at the Winnipeg Mint, and they would have a W mint mark just in front of the Queen's bust right there. This one does not have that. I've never found one in the wild, but just thought I would share one of the years that the W mint marked coins were issued. Roll number 9. Let's see if we can get a colorized coin in this before the end of the hunt. All right, we have 2 more 2019s, and we have one to compare it with, so we know that the one on top is the extra serrations version. And it looks like we found a second one. And a third one. Let me compare these ones here. They all have the same number of serrations. That is 3 extra serrations right there, which is very, very unusual. All right, moving on to the final roll. We have roll 10, not a single colorized coin in this hunt. Very disappointing, but we do have, right here, we do have a solemn Toonie. Let's see what else we find. All right, well, we have our solemn Toonie. This one is not in tip-top shape. So what I usually put these back into circulation, but the nice ones I usually keep for my giveaways. And we have a 400th anniversary of the establishment of the city of Quebec, 1608 to 2008. The fleur de lis, we have a ship over here. And a different font again. This one has serifs, which is different than what is usually used. That is awesome. Well, we have some good finds. I'm happy with the insulin find and the Bill Reeds. These are really cool. I love the D-Day one as well. But yeah, so that's it. Unfortunately, no colored coins. I would have liked to have some colorized coins. Of all of these here, these are actually all keepers. I'm not going to be returning any of these guys here back into circulation. So that is good news for my collection. And let's go right to the giveaway for this month. This month I'm giving away 4 quarters. A little bit different than I usually do. I usually give away a toonie. But this time I'm giving away 4 quarters, and I'm going to be giving away 2 of the Canadian flag quarters, so the colorized and the uncolorized version, as well as 2 of the poppy quarters, the colorized and the uncolorized version. And all you have to do is leave a comment down below, and early next month I will draw the name of a lucky winner to send these coins to. Well, I hope you bear with me as I slowly ramp up my video editing again and my video recording. It's been a hard 2 weeks, just lying around sick in bed and not really wanting to do anything, not having any motivation. But I'm quickly recovering and hope to be back to my old form soon. And hey, if you like my videos, I appreciate the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click on my logo over here to subscribe. Here is a playlist of Toonie coin roll hunts, and here is a playlist of, let's say, banknote videos that is on my channel as well. Until next time, thanks for watching.